But just for fun, I want to show you a shot that kind of exercises our knowledge and allows you to see just how creative you can get with the short game. I can't say I've practiced this one a whole lot, but I just want to do it so that we can demonstrate all of these things in action at once. Low power grip, finesse release, and it just comes in there completely dead. Alright, so this is honestly my favorite part about the power accumulators, and because it's something that nobody seems to talk about. What we're about to talk about is how do we activate and deactivate the different power accumulators in the short game. I'm going to first start, I guess I'll just try to take you through all the different combinations we have, but I'll first start with just changing the grip a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend changing the grip on anything further than a couple yards. I think this would probably be the maximum distance that you would want to do it on, about 10 yards. But if you put that club kind of in the palm of your hand, go back to the grip chapter of this lesson series and look at the low powered grip. If you do that, then what you're doing is deactivating power accumulator number 3. When you start hitting chip shots with that low powered grip, you'll notice that your margin of error on your chip shots is a lot bigger, because you can make, you know, a swing all the way back to here or just to here, and the ball is going to travel a very similar distance. So in this swing I'm about to hit, I'm not going to, you know, worry about canceling out power accumulator number 2. I'm going to let the club naturally, you know, cock and uncock of that left wrist, but I've got this low power grip, so you'll see that it kind of comes off softer when I hit it. So let's give this a try, and I'll hit a few with the high powered grip afterwards to just show you what I mean. So this is the low powered grip. And I made a pretty decently sized swing on that because I have that low powered grip. So now what I'm going to do is hit a chip shot, same distance, with a high powered grip. So again, go back to the grip chapter if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to be putting it more in the fingers and activating power accumulator number 3 to its maximum point. So watch how little of a swing I need in comparison to hit the same exact distance shot. You can see that ball traveled the same exact distance, and if we replay it, I'll try to replay it on the screen here. That first shot had a much bigger backswing, and the second one a much smaller. So just by changing your grip, you are altering how hard you have to swing. So that's pretty cool just to start. Now, the second thing that we can talk about is the cocking and uncocking of the wrist. So the power accumulator number 2, if we were to just do this and rotate through, then we've actually activated power accumulator number 2. And if we, you know, add that with a turn, then we're really adding a lot of power to our short game. So a good way to make the shot come in a little bit softer is to eliminate that a little bit and do more of a dead hand swing, where you basically don't cock the left wrist and you turn with the body through the short game shot. Let's just see what that looks like real quick. And you might notice that when you do that, you actually generate a good amount of spin, which is pretty nice sometimes, but it is a little bit difficult to do if you're not used to it. So really practice it if you're going to try to implement it on the course. Now, what if we start to combine this with the different releases? Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because if we're using the finesse release, where we're keeping that club face perpendicular to the inclined plane rather than, fully rotating it over, then you're actually getting a little bit of extra loft from that, a little bit extra soft shot from that, and then you can combine that with a more dead hand swing and a low powered grip to get a shot that basically comes off almost completely dead, and you can make a pretty big swing that's not going to go very far. So I wouldn't recommend combining all of these three things at once because it's kind of hard to do, but I just want to demonstrate it, see if I can even, contact it well, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So let's try this real quick. I'm going to do the finesse release where we're holding it like this, big upper body movement, and the club is perpendicular to the inclined plane. I have a low powered grip in the palms, and I'm going to try to basically make a dead hand swing back and through. So let's try that out and see what it looks like. You can see that ball just literally died when it hit the green, which is sometimes what we want. So I'll try one more, see if we can get it a little bit closer. You just see how those balls are literally just hitting the green and stopping completely. And that is the result of eliminating power accumulator number 3, number 2, and adding in the finesse release to our short game. So knowing how all of these things work seem very theoretical, but just for fun, I want to show you a shot that kind of exercises our knowledge and allows you to see just how creative you can get with the short game. So what would happen if I opened the club face, I had a low power grip, and I used a finesse release? Well, what we're doing here is the low power grip is going to eliminate power accumulator number 3. The finesse release is going to give us a little bit extra loft and soft touch through the strike. And then what we're doing when we open the face is we're taking the same exact shot that we're doing, so the same exact angle of attack, but increasing the dynamic loft, so we have a bigger divergence between those two and more spin. So you'll see when I hit this shot, it will come in even more dead than what we had talked about earlier. So give me a break if I don't get this right the first time. It's kind of a difficult shot, and I can't say I've practiced this one a whole lot, but I just want to do it so that we can demonstrate all of these things in action at once. So we got that club face open, low power grip, and we'll use a finesse release. You can see that one went way off to the right, didn't even make it to the pin, but it was very, very soft. So let's try that one more time here. Low power grip, finesse release, and it just comes in there completely dead. So not only can we minimize the power, but we can also maximize the power for our benefit in a couple situations as well. So what if I wanted to bring it in low and kind of spin it? Now, if I wanted to do that, then I might think about putting the ball a little bit back in my stance, which will increase the angle of attack, which I know should increase the spin a little bit. Also, if I use the power release, that's going to keep it a little bit lower. And then I can also use a medium or even a high powered grip to allow myself to kind of bring it in with less of not as big of a swing, and I can get a little bit more distance out of it. So you can practice around with these kind of variables and see what this sort of shot looks like. So you see there, I kind of did the power release, brought it in low. I didn't really have a very long backswing. So what I'll end on is a low powered grip, big old flop shot. Let's see what we can do here. Nice, high, and soft. So experiment around. have fun with it. This is really the fun part of golf, and if you can embrace this and start being creative around the greens, you're going to actually realize that practicing the short game, what you should be practicing, is a lot more fun than practicing the long game.